So there's a point that every creator hits. You start a niche, you stay consistent, things start to work for you, and then you get bored or curious, or you start thinking, can I post something slightly different? And this is where most people mess up badly with their channel because they do one of two things. Mistake number one is they stay far too narrow. They lock themselves into one thing, same topic, same format, same everything. And yeah, it will work for a while, but eventually it will get repetitive for you and also for viewers. You lose interest, burnout creeps in, or people just stop watching your videos because you're basically posting the same thing over and over again. And the other mistake is they jump too far in the other direction. And this is probably the bigger one. They go from one clear starting niche to something totally different. And then suddenly their audience is like, what the hell's going on? Different audience, different topic, different vibe. And what happens? Everything drops. People just stop caring about the channel because it's not what they subscribe for. Their views, their watch time, and their momentum all dies, and they think, the algorithm killed my channel, but really, you just broke your connection with the audience. This is the real problem. Growth comes from consistency, but creativity needs some flexibility as well. So how do you balance both of these ideas? And that's where this comes in. Niche bending, something that you've probably seen a lot of recently. Not changing your niche entirely, but stretching it carefully, so your content evolves without losing momentum of your specific thing you're doing. So what am I actually talking about here? Instead of jumping from A to Z and completely confusing your audience, you go from A to B to C gradually in a way that still makes sense for your audience. So say, for example, your niche is YouTube growth, like this channel. Instead of suddenly posting a day in the life vlog and just being like completely different, you might post how my YouTube channel changed my routine, or what I learned after 100 videos. Still connected to your core niche, but slightly expanded in perhaps a more interesting way. And this works really well because it keeps the same audience, but it gives you more room to create, more ideas, and it keeps it fresh, not just for you, but for your audience as well. So you won't lose any momentum, but you also don't burn out. I've actually noticed this myself on some channels that I've done. Whenever I stay too rigid, I do get bored sometimes. Whenever I switched too hard though, my performance would drop massively. But when I stayed close to the core, things kept working, but you could still kind of, introduce some new elements, but keep the core idea there. And that is essentially what niche bending is. The key rule here though is every new video should still make sense to your current viewer. If it doesn't, it's gone too far. For example, I've got a Warhammer YouTube channel at the minute that I've been growing over the past year. It's got 8,500 subscribers, and I just post Warhammer lore content on it every day. It's really simple. I basically have it as a hobby, and it makes me a bit of money as well, and I like it. And basically, I just post lore videos in that Warhammer niche. Some of them are about specific content that does well, and then sometimes I branch outside of it, inside the niche of Warhammer, but outside of the core topics that I talk about. Like, for example, my Emperor of Mankind videos do really, really well. So I post one of those every 2 to 3 days, but I'm also testing other little types of breaking news stuff, other kinds of bits on the channel. And they're not exactly what people subscribe for, but lots of people still like them because they're within that wider Warhammer niche. For example, videos that have been doing well for me recently are explained in 10 minutes videos. This is a really good format for a video that you can kind of niche bend in your own niche, if you know what I mean. Explained in 10-minute videos are really good because it gives people a defined time frame that they can subscribe to and go, all right, then I'll give you 10 minutes. Tell me about this thing. But then I applied that to Warhammer and it worked really well. So something to think about. You need to ask yourself about this. If someone liked my last videos, why would they still click this one? If the answer is no, you've gone way too far outside your niche. You see, when your content stays connected, YouTube keeps understanding your audience. So your videos keep getting shown to the right people. This is basically the main thing that you need to think about. When you jump niche too quickly, the understanding of YouTube's algorithm will reset and your growth will slow down because it doesn't know who to show your videos to anymore. So think about it like this. You don't replace your niche entirely. You want to layer on top of it, add some depth. Instead of a new topic and a new audience, do a new angle with the same audience. So say, for example, you're doing a fitness channel. Don't go from workouts to gaming. Go from workouts to nutrition, to mindset, to routines. You can see how they're all connected around the idea of fitness and workouts, and they're all, tertiarily connected to the topic. But they're a bit more interesting, new angles. I mean, there's thousands of videos you could do on this. It's more interesting, but it's still connected to your audience. This is like building what I would call a content web, where you've got like all of these little ideas and they all link together like a little bit of a interconnected lattice, really. Your videos will link together if you do this. Different angles, but it's the same core principle and niche of the channel. And I think this is powerful because it increases your watch time, your session time, and also it keeps things fresh for your viewers, so it's not super boring and the same thing every time. But there's obviously a bit here that people can get wrong, which is they think growth comes from doing more things, but it actually comes from doing connected things. Expansion is good, randomness is not good. So, when should you actually start doing this? I don't think you should do this at the start of your channel. At the start, I think you need to double down on one very specific idea, one very specific niche for a good while. 50 videos, I would say, because you need to build an audience. You need to have clarity for your channel. But once you have some traction and an audience and some understanding of what's working for your channel, that's when you can start experimenting a little bit with niche bending. And I think you should do this slowly, even once you're an established channel. Test one video and see how it does. If it works, then lean into it. If it doesn't, then maybe leave it for a while. This is essentially a feedback loop. It shouldn't be a big decision. You're not committing forever. You're just experimenting slightly with a different kind of angle on your niche. There are benefits to this that people don't really see as well. You stay interested in your channel, for example, which is something that you can struggle with as a YouTuber. Sometimes things do get stale for you. And that matters, because consistency is easier when you're not bored to death of doing the same thing. So there's a balance here that you need to try and strike if you're going to do this. Enough structure to grow, but enough freedom to enjoy it. That sweet spot can be difficult to find, but it is where you want to be. So you don't need to stay stuck in one lane forever, but you also can't jump all over the place because you'll never grow. You need direction with flexibility. That's essentially what niche bending is. And if you get this right, you can grow your channel without losing what made it work in the first place. So if you want to understand how to turn this into a longer watch time and better video performance, that's exactly what I broke down in this video here, because growing is one thing, but growing without breaking momentum, that's where things really start to scale.